Hello everybody and welcome to Talent Sprint for this edition of the weekly current affairs for the period between the 20th of May and the 28th of May 2017. As always, we will divide this presentation into 6 segments. First will be the national news, followed by the international news, then the news on banking, economy and finance, then the news on science and technology, then the news on what we call as the other current affairs, and finally the sports news. We begin with the national news. The National Green Tribunal has banned open defecation and waste dumping on Yamuna food plains. A bench headed by the NGT chairperson has banned the open defecation and waste dumping on the food plains of the river Yamuna. It has also slapped an environment compensation of Rs 5,000 for people who violate the order. The tribunal has also ordered the Delhi government and the municipal corporations to immediately take action against those polluting industries which function in residential areas. This is indeed a very welcome move by the National Green Tribunal because Yamuna for long has been polluted by all industrial effluents across its riverbed. In a matter of great pride for India, an Indian boy has won the International Science Award in the United States. Prashant Rangarajan has emerged the winner in the world's largest pre-college science competition in the environmental engineering category for his work on biodegradation of pesticides. Prashant of Jamshedpur is amongst the 20 high school students from various parts of the country who participated in the International Science and Engineering Fair held in the United States. More than 1,700 students across the world had participated in the event. The high-speed train Tejas Express has been flagged off. The high-speed air-conditioned Tejas Express was flagged off on the 22nd of May 2017 from Mumbai to Goa. Having ultra-modern amenities like LED TV, Wi-Fi and CCTV, Tejas Express is a state-of-the-art train capable of running at 200 kilometers per hour. However, due to constraints related to rail tracks, it will run at a speed of 160 kilometers per hour only. The train will operate 5 days a week during non-monsoon period and 3 days a week during the monsoon period. It's a great pride for the Indian Railways that they have been able to flag off this high state-of-the-art train called the Tejas Express, and it's only hope that the patronage between Mumbai and Goa will be full to the extent that the train will be increased to 7 days a week in the coming days. This woman does not stop at conquering records after records. Yes, I am talking of Anshu Jamanspa, who conquered Mount Everest 4 times. Now she has set a new record by conquering Mount Everest twice within 5 days. Anshu Jamshenpa from Arunachal Pradesh has created history by becoming the first woman to conquer Mount Everest twice within 5 days. She, along with Nepalese climber Furi Sherpa, climbed the Mount Everest at 8 a.m. on the 21st of May 2017. She had also stood atop the world's highest mountain just 5 days earlier on the 16th of May 2017. Anshu also became the first Indian woman to reach Mount Everest for the 5th time. Congratulations, Anshu, and may your record-breaking spree continue forever. All the very best to Anshu Jamsenpa. Madhya Pradesh has banned sand excavation in Narmada River. The state government of Madhya Pradesh has put an indefinite ban on the sand excavation in the Narmada River. The government has also set up a committee to suggest the scientific ways of mining the rivers. The government will also promote manufactured sand made by mixing stones. In yet another feather to the Indian Railways cap, the free Wi-Fi facility has been inaugurated at 28 railway stations along the Konkan Railway. On the 21st of May 2017, Minister of Railways Suresh Prabhu inaugurated the free Wi-Fi facility at 28 railway stations of the Konkan Railway from Kudal railway station in Maharashtra. The Indian Railways has tied up with the Syscon Joyster for providing 2 Mbps peer-to-peer 24 hours free Wi-Fi bandwidth at 28 railway stations of the Konkan Railway. The free Wi-Fi facility would help the travelers, commuters and tourists access essential information while waiting for trains or on railway stations. The world's first philosophical novel on God has been unveiled. The IAS officer Haunilal Guite has recently published a philosophical novel for God titled Confessions of a Dying Mind, The Blind Faith of Atheism. The book is touted as the world's first philosophical novel for God. The book explores interesting arguments against atheism. It also explores the nature of science, religion, evidence, and love in light of the latest findings of modern science and the solid theories in philosophy. The Swachh Bharat app has been launched. The Culture Minister Mahesh Sharma has launched the Swachh Bharat app at the National Museum in New Delhi. This app will enable visitors to report garbage on the premises of the ASI monuments across the country. Around 30 galleries in the National Museum have already been equipped with a device that will make use of the internet to connect to the app. In a very major breakthrough for the Calcutta Metro Railway, India's first underwater rail tunnel has been completed. The two organizations, Afcon Trans Tunnels Troy and Kolkata Metro Railway Corporation KMCRL, involved in implementing the East-West Metro, have completed boring India's first underwater tunnel under the Hooghly River to link Howrah and Kolkata. The length of Kolkata's East-West Metro is 16.6 kilometers long, out of which a length of 502 meters is under the Hooghly River. The tunnel boring job was completed within a time of 1 month and 6 days, well ahead of schedule. This is indeed a matter of great pride to the engineers involved with the boring of the underground tunnel, and I'm sure the passengers will have a wonderful experience when they pass through this 502 meters of underwater tunnel across the river Hooghly. The Foreign Investment Proposal Board has been abolished. The Union Cabinet has approved the abolition of the 25-year-old FIPB. Henceforth, concerned ministries will be responsible for direct approval of foreign investment proposals. FDI proposals will be approved by the ministries concerned by following the standard operating procedure approved by the Cabinet. In proposals related to security, the proposals will also need to require the approval of the Home Ministry. The Cabinet has approved the allocation of 2.5% of Central Road Fund for national waterways. The Centre has approved the allocation of 2.5% of the Central Road Fund for development and maintenance of the national waterways by amending the Central Road Fund Act of 2000 to boost inland water transport. An allocation of 2.5% will provide about 2,000 crore rupees per annum for the development and maintenance of the national waterways. It is estimated that 1.8 lakh persons would be provided employment in the inland waterways transport sector in the next 5 years' time. India's longest river bridge has been inaugurated in Assam. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the country's longest river bridge, the Dola Sadia Bridge in Assam, on the 26th of May 2017. This 3-lane, 9.15 kilometer long bridge has been built over the river Lohit, which is a tributary of the Brahmaputra. It links Dola in Assam to Sadia. The bridge will also reduce the distance from Rupai on NH37 in Assam to Meka Rowing on NH52 in Arunachal Pradesh by 165 kilometers. Kudos to the engineers who built this wonderful piece of architecture. The government is committed to spend 2.5% of the GDP on health and allied sector, according to the Prime Minister. The aim of the national health policy is to ensure affordable health care for all. The Prime Minister has said that the government is committed to spend 2.5% of the GDP on health and allied sector. The government has brought 5,000 drugs in the list of essential medicines for the purpose of controlling their prices. More and more outlets are being opened under the Jan Aushadhi Yojana. The Rohtang Pass in Himachal Pradesh has opened for vehicular traffic after 6 months. In Himachal Pradesh, the Rohtang Pass has been open for vehicular traffic and tourists after almost 6 months. The pass connects the tribal district of Lahulal Spiti with other parts of the state. Tourists can access Rohtang Pass by obtaining a proper permit. Kulu district authorities have made arrangements for issuing online permits as well. Google's Rajan Anandan has been appointed the chief of the IAMAI. Google's Vice President for Southeast Asia and India, Rajan Anandan, has been appointed as the new chairman of the Internet and Mobile Association of India, IAMAI. Rajan will succeed Free Charge's co-founder and Chief Executive Officer Kunal Shah. The new council has to work towards improving the internet connectivity, especially in the rural areas of the country. The Prime Minister has laid the foundation stone for the All India Institute of Medical Sciences at Changsari in Assam. The Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has laid the foundation stone for the All India Institute of Medical Sciences AIIMS at the Changsari in the Kamrup district of Assam. The institute will be constructed at a distance of 26 kilometers from Guwahati. The institute will have a hospital comprising of 750 beds, 22 super specialty departments including 16 operation theatres. It will also have a medical college capable of accommodating up to 100 MBBS students every year and a nursing college accommodating 60 students every year. India and Mauritius have inked 4 agreements. India and Mauritius have signed 4 agreements after delegation-level talks between the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Prime Minister of Mauritius, Pravind Kumar Jagannath in New Delhi. Prime Minister Pravind Jagannath has chosen India as a destination of his first overseas visit after taking over as Prime Minister of Mauritius early this year. India has extended a $500 million credit to Mauritius. The line of credit has been signed between the SBM Mauritius Infrastructure Development Company Limited and the Export-Import Bank of India. In a move that is bound to create a lot of debate and discussion, the Law Ministry has said that the poll candidates have to declare their and the spouse's sources of income. Election contestants will have to declare their own and spouse's sources of earning in the affidavits filed before contesting polls. At present, it is mandatory for poll contestants to disclose the trails of assets and liabilities for self, spouse and 3 dependents in Form 26 at the filing of nomination papers, but not the source of income. The Law Ministry has announced that an amendment to the Conduct of Election Rules will be issued very shortly. In a rather sad development, the World Health Organization has confirmed the first 3 cases of the Zika virus in India. World Health Organization has confirmed the first 3 cases of Zika virus in India as having reported from Ahmedabad. All the 3 cases are from the Bapu Nagar area of Ahmedabad city. Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry has also confirmed that 3 cases of Zika viruses in Bapu Nagar area on its website. Nagpur has become the first city in the country which will have electric cars for mass mobility. India's first electric cars for mass mobility system has been launched in Nagpur. Maharashtra's Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has inaugurated the India's first multimodal electric vehicle project at the Nagpur Airport Complex. The pilot project will have a fleet of 200 electric vehicles, including taxis, buses, e-rickshaws and auto rickshaws. All these electric-powered public transport vehicles will be fully owned by the cab aggregator Ola. 4 electric charging stations have also been built by Ola in various parts of Nagpur, including the Nagpur Airport. That's all we have for you in the national news segment. We now move on to the second segment of this weekly current affairs for the period between the 20th and the 28th of May 2017, and this is on international news. Hassan Rouhani has won the Iran's presidential election. Hassan Rouhani has been re-elected as president of Iran. Rouhani has won his second term by presenting himself as a candidate of change and social freedoms that ended many sanctions and a 13-year standoff over Iran's nuclear program. He also became the first Iranian leader to speak with the President of the United States when Barack Obama telephoned in September 2013. The President of the United States and the King of Saudi Arabia have signed defense deals during the former's visit to Saudi Arabia. US President Donald Trump and King Salman of Saudi Arabia have signed a $110 billion defense deal to support the long-term security of Saudi Arabia. The package demonstrates the commitment of the United States to Saudi Arabia while bolstering the kingdom's ability to provide for its own security and continue contributing to counter-terrorism operations across the region, reducing the burden on US military forces. President Trump and King Salman have also signed a joint strategic vision statement promoting close collaboration to counter violent extremism, disrupt the financing of terrorism, and advance defense cooperation. In a referendum, the Switzerland people, or the people of Switzerland, have voted for renewable energy against the nuclear power. In Switzerland, voters have supported a referendum to withdraw the country from nuclear power in favor of renewable energy. The referendum shows 58% of voters in favor and 42% against the proposal. The Swiss government wants to ban the construction of nuclear power plants and decommission the country's 5 existing ones at the end of their technically safe operating lives. The plan will also boost renewable energy such as solar and wind and make cars and electric devices more energy efficient. It's an example worth emulating by all the countries of the world. NASA has named a new species after the late President Abdul Kalam. NASA has named a new bacteria discovered on the filters of the International Space Station, ISS, as Solibacillus kalami to honor the late President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The genus is Solibacillus and the species name is kalami. The new organism is found only on the ISS and has not been found anywhere on the Earth so far. The Trump administration, in a snub to Pakistan, has announced that they will be reducing an aid to the extent of $190 million in financial grant to Pakistan. The Trump administration has proposed to reduce $190 million in financial grant to Pakistan in foreign military funding as compared to the 2016 fiscal. This year, the US administration has proposed $344 million in financial assistance to Pakistan, including $100 million in foreign military funding. The White House said that the proposals are part of a larger effort to slash spending on diplomacy, aid and programs abroad by more than 29%. The world's largest aircraft, Airlander 10, completes test flight. The world's largest aircraft has successfully completed a test flight, bringing the massive helium-filled airship one step closer to commercial operations. The hybrid aircraft, dubbed Airlander 10, combines technology from airplanes, helicopters, and airships. It is designed to fly at altitude of 6,100 meters for up to 5 days. With a length of 92 meters, it is the largest aircraft currently flying. In a barbaric attack in Manchester City, in a pop singing arena, terror attack in Manchester City leaves 22 killed and 59 injured. The Islamic State terrorist group ISIS has claimed responsibility for the deadly attack at the Manchester Arena, which claimed 22 lives and injured 59 people. The attacker died while detonating the explosive device planted at a pop concert by a US pop singer. The blast took place in the foyer area of the Manchester Arena. This has been condemned by all world leaders, and it is an act which is rather barbaric, aimed at claiming the lives of innocent citizens, and needs to be condemned in the strongest possible terms. Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus is elected as the Director General of World Health Organization. Former Ethiopian Health Minister Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus has been elected as the new Director General of the World Health Organization. This election has earned the distinction of being the first election which saw the participation of all the WHO member states in the voting process. Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus defeated the 2 other contenders to the post, namely Dr. David Nabarro of the United Kingdom and Pakistan's Dr. Sania Nishtar. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, has decided to join the US-led anti-Islamic State coalition. In the NATO summit, which began in Breslin on the 25th of May 2017, NATO, or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, Chief John Stoltenberg said that terrorism will be the top agenda of the meeting. NATO is to join the US-led anti-Islamic State coalition, meeting a key demand of US President Donald Trump that the alliance do more to fight Islamist terrorism. Trump is expected to ask other NATO members to contribute further to the military campaign against the Islamic State terror group. The World Economic Forum has declared that Mumbai and Kota are amongst the world's most crowded cities. World Economic Forum, citing UN Habitat data, has named 2 Indian cities, Mumbai and Kota in Rajasthan, amongst the world's most crowded cities. Dhaka has topped the list, followed by the Indian financial capital of Mumbai. Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, has a population density of 44,500 people per square kilometer, while Mumbai has a population density of 31,700 people per square kilometer. The Nepal Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda has resigned. Nepal's Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda has resigned from his post. Prachanda has stepped down, honoring a power-sharing agreement entered by him with the ruling partner Nepali Congress. It was agreed that the government will be run on a rotational basis until the elections to the parliament are held in February 2018. Apple has opened the first official store in Southeast Asia in the island city of Singapore. Apple has opened this first store in Southeast Asia at Singapore's upmarket shopping district. Apple expects this store to be one of the most popular stores in the world. Apart from Singapore, it has shops located in Hong Kong, China, and Japan in Asia. That's all we have for you in the international segment. Now we move on to the third segment of this presentation on the weekly current affairs for the week from the 20th of May to the 28th of May, and this is on banking, economy, and finance. The GST Council has announced the GST rates. The GST Council has finalized tax rates and has approved all the 7 rules for the GST regime that is scheduled to be implemented from the 1st of July 2017. In total, the Council has fixed rates for 1,211 items. It will decide the rates of some other items and services in the coming days. 81% of the items will attract tax of 18% or less. Only the remaining 19% of the items will attract the highest rate of 28%. The GST Council has also finalized the 4-slab service tax structure. The GST Council has finalized a 4-slab service structure at the rates of 5, 12, 18 and 28% as against a single rate of 15% levied on all taxable services. Luxury hotels, gambling, race club betting and cinema services will attract a rate of 28%. Telecom and financial services will be taxed at a rate of 18%. Transport services will be taxed at a rate of 5%. Economy air class will attract 5% GST, while business class travel will attract 12%. Air India, the Indian national carrier, has decided to auction its properties. Air India has decided to auction 7 of its properties as a part of its asset monetization plan. Air India proposes to sell its exclusive properties in the form of land parcels and built-up flats located at prime locations in Mumbai, Bengaluru and Thiruvananthapuram. The sale is likely to raise about 80 crore rupees for Air India. The Reserve Bank of India has decided to reconstitute the Oversight Committee to deal with bad loans. The RBI has decided to reconstitute the Oversight Committee OC with more members. The government armed it with additional powers to resolve bad loans with banks that have crossed 8 lakh crores now, while the current members will continue in the reconstituted Oversight Committee. Names of a few more will be added soon. Paytm has launched a payments bank. Paytm has rolled out the payments bank operations by launching its first physical branch in Noida in Uttar Pradesh. With this launch, there are 3 payment banks operational in the country, the other 2 being Airtel Payments Bank and the India Post Payment Bank Limited. As a payment bank, Paytm will be able to accept deposits of up to 1 lakh rupees per customer in wallet and savings and current account deposits. Further, it can also offer other services like debit cards, online banking and mobile banking. However, it will not be allowed to lend to customers and as such cannot issue credit card services. India soon is to become the 2nd largest producer of steel in the world. India has registered a 102% growth in steel exports in the year 2016-17. The country has become a net exporter of steel with 8.2 million tons of exports in the year 2016-17. We have become the 2nd largest producer of stainless steel in the world, leaving behind Japan. And we have also gained the 3rd spot in steel production, leaving behind the United States. We are moving fast to reach the 2nd position, and India will soon become the 2nd largest producer of steel in the world. The government has amended the definition of startups. The Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, DIPP, which is a nodal agency or the nodal body for Startup India, has amended the definition of a startup. As per the new definition, an entity will be considered as a startup if its turnover is less than 25 crore rupees and has not completed 7 years from the date of its incorporation or registration. In the definition, the change is with respect to the time period, which is currently 5 years. The government has selected 5 bankers for the stake sale of Indian Oil Corporation. The government has selected 5 merchant bankers to manage its 3% stake in Indian Oil Corporation IOC, which could fetch about 6,000 crore rupees to the exchequer. The bankers are Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, Dosh Equities, SBI Capital Markets, and ICICI Securities. Government currently holds 58.28% stake in IOC. It plans to sell about 3% stake in the nation's largest oil retailer through an offer for sale. And this 3% sale will itself fetch the government a whopping 6,000 crore rupees. Indraprastha Gas Limited gross turnover has increased by 143 crores. The supplier of compressed natural gas, CNG, and piped natural gas, PNG, in the National Capital Region, Indraprastha Gas Limited gross turnover has increased by 143 crores to over 4,200 crores rupees in the year 2016-17. The company's net profit also increased during this period from 418 crores to 570 crore rupees. The board of the company has recommended a final dividend of 50% in addition to the 35% interim dividend already declared and paid. The shareholders of Indraprastha Gas Limited must be an extremely happy lot. We now move on to the next segment of this weekly current affairs, and that is on the other current affairs. The 22nd of May is observed as the World Biological Diversity Day. Every year, 22nd May is observed as the International Day for Biodiversity or World Biodiversity Day. This date commemorates the date of adoption of the agreed text of Convention on Biological Diversity at the UNEP headquarters in Nairobi on the 22nd of May 1992. The theme for the 2017 World Biodiversity Day is Biodiversity and Sustainable Tourism. The 23rd of May is celebrated as the World Turtle Day. Every year, the 23rd of May is celebrated as the World Turtle Day, as an annual observance aimed at protecting turtles and tortoises and their rapidly disappearing habitats across the world. The celebrations were started in 2000 by the American Tortoise Rescue, ATR. Since then, it is celebrated every year to create awareness about the world's oldest living reptiles in the world. Roger Moore of the James Bond fame dies. Roger Moore, the handsome English actor who appeared in 7 films as James Bond and as Simon Templar on the Saint TV series, has died in Switzerland after a short battle with cancer. He was 89. His family announced the death of Roger Moore on his official Twitter account on the 24th of May 2017. By any yardstick, Roger Moore was the most popular James Bond actor. We now move on to the next segment, which is on science and technology. Scientists discovered the first natural human antibodies against Ebola virus. A team of scientists from the United States have discovered a possible cure for Ebola virus. They have discovered the first natural human antibodies that are capable of neutralizing and protecting animals against all 3 major disease-causing Ebola viruses. The findings could lead to the discovery of the first effective Ebola virus therapies and vaccines. Scientists in IIT Delhi have developed the cheapest respiratory filter. Scientists at the Indian Institute of Technology in Delhi have developed the device nasofilters, which is capable of restricting up to 95% of dust and air pollutants. Involving a cost of ₹10, this is the cheapest nasofilter available. The nano respiratory filter is now ready for commercialization. In a rather depressing move, the Antarctica is turning green because of climate change. According to a new study conducted by a team of scientists from the University of Exeter in the United Kingdom, plant life on Antarctica is growing rapidly due to climate change. The scientists have observed a sharp increase in biological activity in Antarctica in the last 50 years. The continuous retreat of glaciers will make Antarctica much greener in future. The NASA has discovered cyclones in Jupiter. NASA's Juno spacecraft has discovered Earth-sized cyclones at the poles of the Jupiter. It has also unveiled the presence of the storm systems that travel deep into the heart of the planet. Both the poles of Jupiter were found to be covered with Earth-sized swirling storms which are densely clustered and rubbing together. The construction has commenced on the world's largest telescope in Chile. Construction works for building the Extremely Large Telescope, or ELT as it's known, has commenced in Chile. After completion, the Extremely Large Telescope will become the world's largest optical telescope, which will be 5 times larger than the top observing instruments that are in use today. The telescope will be constructed at a 3,000-meter high mountain in the middle of the Atacama Desert. The telescope is scheduled to commence its operations in 2024. We now come to the final segment of this presentation on the weekly current affairs for this period between the 20th of May and the 28th of May 2017, and that is on the sports news. In the ICC Test ranking, India has retained the #1 spot. The Indian cricket team has retained their top position in the latest ICC Test rankings with 123 points. The Indian team is 6 points clear of the second place, South Africa. Australia has been placed at the third place with 100 points, followed by England at fourth with 99 points. In the World Cup Archery, the Indian men's team wins the compound gold. The Indian men's compound archery team has managed to win gold after defeating Colombia 226 to 221 in the Archery World Group Stage 1 Championships held in Shanghai in China. The Indian archery team were represented by Abhishek Verma, Chinnaraju Sridhar and Amanjeet Singh. India beat United States in the semi-final and edged out Iran in the quarterfinals earlier. The IPL 10 has finally ended and Mumbai Indians have won their third IPL title. Mumbai Indians lifted the Indian Premier League trophy for the third time as they recorded a scintillating 1-run win against Rising Pune Supergiant in the title clash at Hyderabad on the 21st of May 2017. Mumbai won the match by 1 run. Mitchell Johnson finished with 3 wickets and Krunal Pandya was named the man of the match, while Ben Stokes was named the most valuable player of the tournament. Bengaluru FC has won the 38th Federation Cup Football Tournament. Bengaluru FC has won the Federation Cup Football Tournament. In the final played in Cuttack on the 21st of May 2017, they defeated defending champions and 14 times winners Mohun Bagan 2-0. With this win, Bengaluru also sealed a berth in the next year's Asian Football Confederation AFC Cup. In a fantastic development, India has won all the 10 gold medals at the South Asian Junior Table Tennis Championships. The South Asian Junior Table Tennis Championships was held in Mount Lavinia near Colombia in Sri Lanka. In a stunning performance, the paddlers from India have won all the 10 gold medals on offer in this tournament. India led the championship with 8 points, followed by Sri Lanka on 6 points. The International Cricket Council's Cricket Committee has recommended DRS for T20 internationals. The ICC Cricket Committee, chaired by India's head coach Anil Kumble, has made a host of recommendations at its annual meeting in London concerning the future of international cricket. One of the notable recommendations is the use of DRS for all T20 international matches. Another important recommendation is to give power to on-field umpires to send off players in response to the most serious incidents of players' misconduct, such as violence on the field. That's all we have for you in this edition of the Weekly Current Affairs between the 20th of May and the 28th of May 2017. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Until I see you again with a different topic on a different note next time around, is bye from me for now. Take care and keep watching Talent Sprint videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.